In your auditory nerve tonight, we have Mike Jopag.
Boy, Kevin, did you see that another Democrat won, this time in Miami, and won by 60 points? You got to think that Ryan Zinke is just pulling his hair out, trying to get the next secretary appointment or something. Holy moly, poor guy.
Steve Cornell.
Besant is a soybean farmer, just the same way that RFK is a vaccine expert. This $12 billion bridge to the beautiful Trump economy is really just a giant bridge to nowhere.
Ryan Hennon.
You know, MAGA hates a big government socialist, but when Trump does huge tariffs that raise costs on consumers, we have a bailout to Argentina. We're just bailing out the farmers. Spending is up $285 billion just this year. The deficit is up $1.8 trillion just this year. Threats to nationalize companies. We've already nationalized parts of Intel, and now we're being lectured that we only need so many pencils and don't buy so many toys for Christmas. I think the call is coming from inside the house, MAGA.
Ooh.
It might be.
And we got Ed Doctor.
Crystal Wilsey, that racist bitch from Wisconsin that worked at Cinnabon, I guess. You know what? I just got to say, and I've said it before, and I'll say it again. You got to have an IQ somewhere around the temperature of Minnesota right now to be a fucking racist, and this bitch is a fucking racist. But the worst part about it, she's over 100,000 in her GoFundMe from fucking racist hillbillies fucking, donating to her account. What the fuck are we doing wrong in this country? Where are we going?
Shame.
Yeah. Don't ever hire a woman named Crystal. Just saying.
And we got
Unless she's a hooker.
We got two special guests tonight. We got this random, weird liberal son of a bitch from Wisconsin, Essie with the dark left.
Yeah, the dark left. And it's called the dark left because Instagram wouldn't let me call it the fuck you side of the left. So
I was going to bring that up.
I had to moderate that and change it to the dark left. Also, I'd like to say that
First F-bomb
while Cinnabon flourishes in the great state of Wisconsin due to the fact that, potentially not the slimmest people, we do not claim that woman as one of our own. She's one of those kind of off flings, we'll call it. Okay. So do not connect me to that.
Not at all. Hell no.
No way.
All right, and we got our buddy from St. Regis running for House District 1, Russell Cleveland.
Hey, I think Ed's kind of an offling too, isn't he?
Hey. I don't think I know.
If only our bank accounts could climb at the rate the national debt does, $1 trillion every 130 days, we'd be great.
We're getting there on the podcast.
I was going to say, I can afford some wings at the tap house.
Maybe.
Money like that.
I can pay off my tab at the tap house.
What's cracking, guys? How we doing today?
Pretty good, Russ. How are you doing? What are you working on this week? Where are you going?
Well, last week, Friday, I had a triple header. As you guys heard last week, we hit Dillon, Ennis, and Bozeman. And first time I've had at least a dozen people talk to me about exact amounts their health care is going up.
It's scary, dude.
I mean, each of them were paying roughly $600 to $800 a month. All now $2,900, $3,000 a month. And so people are literally choosing between heat and healthcare in this state now.
Yeah.
Not just here, everywhere. But, I mean, we're hearing it. It's rural Montana. It's real. And that doesn't even account for the 20 to 30% increase we're seeing in grocery prices thanks to good old Ryan Zinke. So
the heat's not going to get cheaper, is it?
No, heat's not going down either. I mean, we talked a little bit about that with the data center push here in Montana. Looked over a couple studies here this last week. We're seeing projections that are putting it somewhere in a 30% increase range again, and year over year. So we're talking about it was 20 the year before, 17 last year, 30 now. I mean, you're pushing 100% increase in a 3-year, 4-year span. So it's crazy. I mean, look, it really is. We've been talking about this conversation of left to right for way too long, and you've heard other candidates say it. It really is a top to bottom issue, but we're at that point where the top has gotten so fat it is literally crushing the bottom. I mean, it is the Cinnabon of Wisconsin. Crushing us right now.
Attaboy.
Russ, but I'm sure you saw this week, I did see that the GOP is coming out, or there's talks that they're going to release a health care plan. I've heard that it's, don't get sick, and if you do, take a Tylenol and make a wish.
Yeah.
I think that's about the...
If you want to risk autism, if you're going to risk autism,
Oh,
put
that's
that
right, I
Tylenol.
forgot about
I
the
thought we
autism.
canceled Tylenol.
Yeah,
We canceled Tylenol.
That's certainly not going to be the plan, yeah.
We canceled Tylenol.
Shit.
Oh, God. I bet Essie's
It'll
got
have to
he's
be an
got a keg right in
off-brand.
his house.
Yeah,
It'll
right.
have to be an off-brand of Tylenol.
Trump
We're
brand
going-
Tylenol.
Well, it's going to be
You
part
can
of Trump
take
RX.
you can take aceta
Acetaminophen.
you guys know how to say it. Yeah, those
yeah,
words big words throw me. Anyway, don't take that.
Yeah.
God, why do people think we're uppity on the left? I don't know. It's weird.
Jeez,
Just
I
know how
know.
to like say things.
You
It's
can't
fucked
pronounce
up.
a drug. Jeez.
Well, tomorrow I'm off to the booming metropolis of Knoxon.
Oh wow.
Hey,
Oh, nice. Go to the Naughty Pine.
Have a bridge tour there. You guys know that's one of the bridges that's probably about 30 years overdue
Right.
yeah.
on a rebuild. You can literally see through the bridge. They've got metal planks
Is that a problem?
covering holes. That's usually
For
not
liberals.
a bridge you want
Yeah.
a lot of traffic
Your
over.
wagon wheels will get stuck in there, won't they?
It's, the mules fall through. The mules fall through there, but it's it's an awesome town. The people up there are fantastic, and again, broken promises by not just this administration but many others as well. That the infrastructure dollars are coming. We've got a single lane bridge that spans the Clark Fork River. You got one way in, one way out in a time when forest fires and natural disasters are at an all-time high, and we can't even get some basic repairs coming in to that bridge. So I'm excited to learn a little bit about more about that, meeting with the commissioners up there, and then we'll be meeting with the people of Sanders County and having a little town hall there, hear what else is going on. So that's what we got queued up for.
Have you
for
ever
this
been to
week.
the Sanders County Fair?
Oh yeah, I was there this last year.
Hell yeah, nothing like a 20-year-old at the Sanders County Fair. Just good. I'll just say it was a good weekend.
If you need a new
Girls wearing
gun, that's
tight-fitting
the place to-
clothes.
Yeah.
Well, you got to think the GOP infrastructure plan for Knoxon is to turn their sign the other way because, Knoxon spells Knoxon even upside down. So they're just pointing to the other side.
That's the place if you need a new rifle.
Yeah.
Then that's where you go. There's about 10 rifles to enter at the.
And my mistake, Russ, the Naughty Pine is in Trout Creek. It is not in Knoxon. That was my mistake.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't remember that one. But,
Yeah.
Hey, when are you in Missoula next?
Tomorrow night, actually, I come out of Knoxon, and then I'm running all the way to Missoula for an event tomorrow night, and then back here to Monroe County. So
Well, next,
all over the-
not tomorrow, but next time you're down there, let me know. I'll run down there and we'll surprise the Rhino. I know the
Let's
owner
do
real
it.
well. Yeah, we'll have a fun night there.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
I'll hit you for sure. So.
Russ, tell us about the Oyster Man. I see you're on the poster with the Oyster Man from Maine. I
love
saw
it.
you somewhere on social, you and him looking together.
Yeah.
So you're
and I
racist
noticed
like
the
he is?
Oyster Man kind of looks like Ed, so maybe it was Ed you're standing next to.
Yeah, you never know.
It is. I might have to have you stand in, Ed, as his doppelganger.
All right, we'll do that. I'll do that.
Oh,
I-
yeah.
I'll
the
have to get
tattoo
some
and
Nazi
everything.
tattoos first.
Well, I was going to say, Ed has a more offensive tattoo than that, as far as I'm concerned.
Very offensive.
Oh, cover that Packer
yeah.
helmet up.
Put it away. Yeah, no, we both are endorsed by No Dems Left Behind, and so they started pushing some content out with both of us on there. James Tallarico is obviously endorsed. There's some other
Oh, that's
grassroots
great news.
progressive candidates that are getting out there and doing the work, and so it's nice to be getting a little bit of recognition for what's been 8 months of a lot of grind.
Kevin's going to try to get all those guys on the show. Before
Yeah,
the,
you should
before
do
the
it,
election.
Kevin. Good luck with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
I know. I mean, all I gotta do is look at your number of viewers, and they'll be there in no time. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
Goddamn
we're up
right.
to 4.
Yeah, right.
Hey, thanks, Russ. Good hearing those stories about people
great
you're
seeing you
talking
guys
to.
again, and we'll hit you up next week.
Sounds good.
Thanks, Russ. Take care, buddy.
Yeah.
All right. We do that every week, Essie, with Russ. We met him a few months ago when he decided to run, and I tell you what, I got plastered with him a couple times late at night and figured this is a real fucking dude. I can support him and an actual politician I really like, and he'd fit in good at Wisconsin. I noticed you were drinking a fresh pint of beer. You got a kegerator in your studio, don't you?
I don't have a kegerator.
Oh, okay.
Actually, the truth is, I only drink beer when I can because I'm a bourbon addict. And
Nice.
yeah, Jesus Christ! I didn't say fentanyl. I said bourbon. You guys react like that. You were like, "Oh, bourbon."
What about the brandy old fashioned? You ever dabble in that at all?
I'm not I like a good old fashioned, but I like it to be a whiskey old fashioned. Brandy's a little
Ditto.
too sweet.
Me
for-
too. I
for
don't
my-
understand. Wisconsin drinks
Like a
90%
rye.
of the world's brandy to this day, and I've never understood it.
Yeah, my great grandmother loved brandy, and just being curious, I tried it, and it tastes like shit then, and it tastes like shit now. I'm not a fucking aristocrat, right? I'm just a normal guy that likes my bourbon in a glass. I don't need ice. I don't need Coke. I like to taste it for the way it is. I drink my coffee black and my water pretty plain, and my beer's strong. And I guess, I guess I am a Republican.
Yeah, you kind of sound like one. The bourbons, anyway, for sure.
Essie, what's one bottle of bourbon you always have on your shelf?
People ask me that question all the time. What's your favorite? What's this? What's that? I mean, it really varies. I tell people if you're going to go to the store, if you're like a $40 bottle, I would go with like a Knob Creek. I
Yeah.
think that's an
it's tough to
easy
beat.
spot to hit.
Yeah, it is.
I've been a big fan of the double oaked Woodford Reserve lately.
Yeah, Double Oak
yeah,
Woodford's
yeah.
good. I mean, I have, Angel's Envy is a good go-to,
that's a good one.
That's-
kind of
that's
simple.
None of those come in plastic bottles like I buy.
Oh yeah.
No, that's not bourbon.
I'll put one in a plastic bottle
that's,
for you.
That's Mad Dog. Yeah.
Well, we're trying to get sponsored by Grain Belt. What's the Grain Belt look like in Wisconsin?
Well, you're trying to get sponsored by what?
Yeah, never mind.
Grain Belt beer, the friendly beer, brewed in
Oh, the
Newell,
beer.
Minnesota.
If you want a good beer, Wisconsin beer, it would be Spotted Cow.
Yep, I knew that was
I
coming.
got a buddy that's a private pilot, and he goes to Wisconsin once a month, and he brings me Spotted Cow.
He never takes off
Yeah.
before having a few spotted cows.
Yeah, hell no. Yeah, for sure. Oh, man.
Just eases the nerves a little bit.
Anyway, the one thing I wanted to ask you to start this off basically I liked your video when you started saying, like, people are like, they ask you, what is the dark left? What is it? I love how you talk about it, how you explain it. But I want to know what your inspiration was, when it actually started, and when did it really take off?
Okay, so I'll answer this the best I can. It started. I started posting in May. So really,
That's
May
about when
was
we
getting
started
my-
on TikTok.
Yeah, that's literally. I did TikTok for a couple of weeks, and then I started putting the same content on Instagram. And then a few months later, I started putting stuff up on YouTube. And I've just recently got into doing more long form YouTube content. The inspiration was, I think the left it has to counter the branding. And the branding from the Republicans is that the left is weak. And I mean, they have a lot of other things to say, but that's the primary one, right?
Yep.
And a lot of the content that I see from people on the left or left leaning or whatever you want to call it is weak. It's not. It doesn't have the go fuck yourself sort of energy, and it solely became a project of mine to do it as a cathartic journey. I only did it so I could
Feel better.
Yeah.
Yes, that's the only reason.
It's your fucking outlet. I love it.
That's so funny. We've
Yeah,
talked-
so-
we've
Because
talked about
somebody's going to
that.
see it. You don't give a fuck if one person sees it. Somebody's
Didn't
going to
care.
fucking see it.
A little bit of therapy.
Didn't care.
That's
I
what we
needed-
talk about too. Is that we've talked amongst ourselves, like, I don't care if anybody watches our shit. It's good to just sit around and talk shit about this stuff
Vent.
every week because we have to vent. We got to get it out, and you know, I think it sounds like that's where your genesis was too. So that's pretty
That was
cool.
it. Yeah, it was not complicated at all. I didn't know if it would pick up traction, and frankly, I didn't care. I did it for a few weeks before I even talked to my wife, but at some point, you have to disclose while you keep going into your office, closing the door, and talking to
Mine
yourself.
decides to work on podcast nights. She does not want to be here.
Yeah, it's, you know, so for me, I didn't think it would pick up the traction that it did, and I'm not motivated by that. So I see things. You know, this week you talked about the Cinnabon, and I did a 90-second. I try to do all my stuff in 90 seconds, which is fucking brutal.
Yeah.
I could do a 10-minute piece on that and kind of pull it all apart left to right. And if you look at, like, I went and looked at her fundraising is on Give Send Go, right?
Yeah.
So Give Send Go.
118,000 I saw.
I was at 137 a couple days ago.
Fuck.
And what's more alarming about it is the comments that have, right? So the comments are, thank you for standing up, and way to not be intimidated. And I thought, you know, I don't know if you guys can tell, but I'm pretty fucking white. But if I was you notice, if I was a Somali
whiter than we are,
walking through that particular mall, which is just outside of Green Bay, and I'm asking for more caramel on a Cinnabon.
You're fine with it.
And you're going to start talking shit about someone's hijab or whatever they're wearing. That would be intimidating to me if I was Somali, right?
Yeah.
So when I saw this stuff, I thought, well, you know, this is what happens, right? Their side, their racist positioning is always given through the lens of Christianity. I was just being an American, and I want what's best for America.
Wait. Where's
because
the Christianity in that part?
Yeah.
Well, it's convenient Christianity, right?
There you go.
There we
It's-
go. Thanks.
Yeah, I call them convenient Christians, and it's when it suits them. And I, you know, tell you a little bit about
know those
myself,
people.
I was raised Catholic, so to speak.
So was I.
And
Is that
Me
a Wisconsin
too.
thing?
Hey,
Me too.
we got a quorum here.
God.
Yeah, I was baptized
guys
at
raised
St.
Mormon,
Peter and
huh?
Paul Church in Green Bay. And I'll be honest with you, I was scared to abandon Christianity for a lot of years. And when I started to, somebody challenged me on something and I looked into it. You know, looking back now, it's pretty simple. I went, this is the most fucking ridiculous book of fairy tales I've ever read.
Yes.
Now, I will say
Completely
this.
agree.
I say that to say this. I don't give a shit if somebody's a Christian. I really don't.
No.
I don't care if that brings you peace and that makes you a better person, that's fantastic.
Hey, it's better than meth. Not much, but
I mean,
Well, yeah.
I would probably go to meth
opiate of
before
the
I go back to
masses.
Christianity.
yeah, I'd say you and I probably would go to meth first, but for most people.
Opium, maybe. Opiate of the masses.
You know, the weird thing I tell people a lot about when I challenge the sort of religious hierarchy, you ever notice that people that leave Christianity very rarely go back to it?
Yeah.
No shit.
That's a statistical fact. When people challenge a religion and they open their mind and they just look outside and go, you know what, maybe it's just this. Maybe there's something, who knows what, that got us on this planet somehow. And then when we're here for the length of an eyelash and then we're gone, and in 75 years plus 100, nobody will remember who we are.
Nope.
Right? And when you accept that reality and stop thinking about this dancing playground in the clouds, you have, in my opinion, a more appreciation for what happens day to day.
Without
And
a
I think
doubt.
I think a lot of my empathy and compassion comes from that viewpoint versus citing, you know, a Psalms reference or a Deuteronomy.
Well,
Might be one of the
I mean-
smartest guys we've ever had on
Well,
the show.
I
Jesus
know
fucking
it's
Christ.
pretty good. I think you and I could actually sit down and leave everybody else out of this.
Yeah,
But
he's probably not gay. He's got a wife.
But no, I mean,
I'm
think-
progressive.
I think
Yeah,
that
that's true.
not that there's anything wrong with that.
Oh, Steve's blushing.
Got a little rosé going on.
Well, actually, what you just said, I want to jump in on that. This is a really important part that we address this. The conversation piece that just happened with one of you saying he's not gay and then somebody making a crack about it, that is the reality that people think on the right that nobody on the left does. They think
Right.
people on the left don't joke with each other and I try to explain to people that jokes are always about context, right? And intent. who are you when you're saying it? Why are you saying it? And how are you saying it? For a bunch of guys to joke around like that is not a slight to gay people, but the Republicans act like we all sit in this weird bubble and never say anything wrong and never do anything wrong. And there are the people on the left that are the fucking word police, and they're the worst.
They are.
They're the fucking worst.
They have
it's absolute.
They have an autoclave. The Democrats have an autoclave that they have to run every fucking thing that they say through to cleanse it of anything that could possibly be wrong before they bring it out and use it. And that's something I've been thinking about a lot lately. And part of our podcast is like we started this saying we're not going to shy away from saying the things we say to each other in private in public, because why would we do that?
Yeah, to show people that, like, because I'm a pretty fucking redneck. I grew up farming asparagus and sweet corn in Franklin, Wisconsin, and in Franklin it's between Milwaukee and Lake Geneva, you know, and it's like there's not much going on. Well, there probably is now. I haven't been there in 25, 30 years, but regardless, really redneck. And all these fuckers I grew up with, they didn't like Donald Trump back then. We didn't like anybody that was rich. Definitely nobody had shit on a gold toilet. Now all these fuckers are in love with him. I don't know what happened because they never left. I did. I don't know what it is. But, you know, somebody approached to me because we had other podcasts before this and said, could you do a kind of a podcast for meatheads or something? You know, uninformed voters. I'm like, oh, fuck yeah, for sure. I'm a fucking meathead, you know. But and when I explain to people, Kevin looks at me, he's like, yeah, you're damn right you are. When I explain to people, you know, where the concept came from was just like what you're saying. It's like, you know what? I say I do a lot of dumb fucking things. And I want to show people that liberals do dumb things. I say fucking retard. I'm so fucking sorry. I feel fucking horrible because the left has made me feel horrible, but I should. Not a good thing to say, but I say it. I smoke cigarettes. I drink beer a lot, you know. I've done drugs in the past. I am who I am. But at heart, I'm a fucking, I'm a liberal. I'm a huge liberal. But most people, especially in Montana, have never assumed that of me. They've always assumed I'm a Republican because I own multiple businesses and I work a lot. That's, you know, liberals don't work, you know, that kind of horse shit. So, you know, that's what was so interesting that, you know, when we reached out to you, you were able to do, you know, come on and talk with us because of what people like us are all doing. Like, I love the dark left, that fucking concept. And you know what? And I'm not a fucking pussy at all. You know, maybe you'll like our new shirt we're coming up with next week. It says it's going to have our logo on the front. On the back, it's going to say, I'm a liberal. Fuck your feelings. You like that?
Right. You're countering the narrative. And that's what I talk about on the left that has to be done. And I did a video, I don't know, maybe a year ago or a month ago. I don't remember. But I said the left has to stop being the word police. Let people
turn off the autoclave.
Because what we do is we push people to the right where they go, yeah, you can say whatever you want here. Mostly hateful shit.
You're right.
People, let's use the word, you know, retard. People say all the time, watching a football game, oh, that was fucking retarded.
Yes.
Yep. And they're not talking about people, right? They're talking about an action. Now, I understand why it's not the appropriate thing to say. I get that.
I would never call a mentally handicapped person that, of course.
Yeah, and you would never
that's
go,
kind of the point.
Like Donald Trump did.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't, if I was the president of the United States, I would never use that word, at least outward when I'm talking to people or I'm posting on social media, because there are a lot of people that are handicapped, or I talked about this in that post where we can't confuse people saying handicap, and you go, you don't call them that, you call them some sort of misabled or whatever the fuck. And I'm like, I can't keep up with that. Right?
No,
Right.
fuck no.
Lost me.
Right.
And we have to, as a group, especially people, you know, in a state like Montana, because I need to be honest with you, Guy, as I'm looking at you, you're all fucking MAGA shaped.
Yeah, that's what everyone says. Dude, most of our followers say, hey, I was scrolling, and I'm like, fuck these
must be looking
douchebags.
at
But then
that
they
end of the
decide to listen,
table.
and they're like, holy shit, you guys actually... Wow, you look like MAGA, but fucking A, you're not stupid,
Yeah.
you know?
I just assumed
I don't know.
everyone from
We're pretty
Montana
fucking
was
stupid.
racist as shit.
Yeah, people say that all the time, you know?
We are the view with beards.
I don't shave my beard on purpose. I let it grow like this so people think I'm MAGA so I don't get fucking murdered around here doing this podcast.
Mike wears a tie, though.
I get some dirty looks at Home
Get
Depot,
over
let
here.
me
What
tell
are
you.
talking about?
There you go.
Fuck them.
Can't wait for my new
fuck 'em.
T-shirt.
No, I'd like to go back to the religion thing just for a
Steve,
second.
you say autoclave again, I swear.
I know you guys don't know what it
We're
is.
going to talk about the
It's
golden
okay.
toilet. I think those things
The golden
probably
toilet.
flush
That's
well.
Yes, they probably work really well.
I mean, that's the problem with toilets. They really just clog up. But the golden toilet, I bet that puppy flushes.
Mine does that for
only
sure.
if you have
Probably
low
like
flow
holds
water.
like 5 gallons of water in it too. It's just like.
It's good to treat water just to flush things. I love it. No, I just going back to the Christianity thing. I think we all have a moral code, and some of it's built on Christianity. But there's a reason why it's called the greatest story ever told. And I've been wanting to say this for a while. It is the greatest story ever told.
It's great. It's a great story.
The fact that you can
Completely
actually live
unbelievable.
together in harmony, and you can accept people, and that you can all come together for the right reasons and be part of a community. That is the greatest story that's ever been told. And unfortunately, that story has been hijacked by the minutia of, there's this one line in the Bible that says you shouldn't sleep with people of the same sex as you, and those people should be cast out. And that is not the theme of the whole story.
Thing, isn't
So
it?
anyway, I just I had to get that out there. Thanks for bringing that up.
You seem really worried about the being cast out for same-sex sleeping together.
Steve, I mean, and we're liberals, but we definitely make fun of gay people like Steve.
We had a whole text string today about who's gay and who's not in this crowd.
We did.
It was
had
actually
someone at
really
work.
fucking funny too.
I had someone at work today, a MAGA, one of my coworkers, he's MAGA through and through, called me gay because he found out about this podcast. He said he has a gay little podcast. Okay.
He just thinks you're happy.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
I'm proud to be part of this gay little podcast. And
It's a gay
I'll
fest.
tell you what I would do if I were you guys, just to push back on that. Somewhere in the design, I don't know who your interior designer was. I'm sure they're fabulous, but in all those
me. So watch
beer
it.
signs and shit, I would put a fucking rainbow up there.
Oh yeah, that's not a bad
That's a
idea.
good idea.
It is.
It
And
would,
then a
it would-
Packer
it would
pride
absolutely-
flag too.
You can put it
Sure,
right
fuck 'em,
behind me.
Hey, listen, I'm all about triggering snowflakes and
Yep.
things
Yes.
like rainbows, which is hilarious to me.
You're right.
Matter of fact, one of the best things I saw
What the
was
fuck's
in
your
Reykjavik.
rainbow?
I
a
employ
Puffy
gay and
Badger
trans
rainbow.
people, so
It's that W
I
right
have.
there.
Oh, shut up. Okay, that's
I'm gonna
enough.
go to Montana just so we can fight.
Roger, he's a fucking Vikings fan. You got to feel sorry for him a little bit.
I'm a
And then
Vikings and a
Steve's a
Gophers
Bears
fan,
fan. Ha, 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 ha.
Man, it's you guys. It's a real rough between the two of you. That's like 80 years of mediocrity.
Yeah.
Oh well,
Hey.
I mean, how do you literally? Actually, fun
know.
fact about the Vikings, they are in the Super Bowl era. They are like
I
the
know what's coming.
third most winning team
Yeah.
to not win shit.
To not win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I mean,
you're
you
right, number
guys.
3.
well, we had the best Super Bowl video ever, so nobody can ever touch that.
Fuck you. That's why they don't win again. That Super Bowl shuffle was the dumbest
Whatever.
fucking thing
It
in
was
the
worth
world.
it. It was
That
it
fucking
was
doomed
worth it.
that
I watch it
franchise
every
forever.
fucking year. I
You
watch it
probably
every
do.
year.
Every
I
Bears
love
fan.
it.
How about
Me and all my
85?
gay friends, we watch it every year.
The Pride Festival. All right, let's keep this going. Come on.
We got some
Hey,
questions.
one thing I liked, one of your clips, and obviously, you know, I'll be honest, I think I've seen them all, you know. I like the one when Jennifer Welch, you know, when they were talking about her on the 5. And when you're like, Greg Gutfeld can't fucking sit on a toilet, you know, without his feet hitting the ground. And like, because he's saying, you know, she should check her face and shit. I'm like, and you know, to me, it's like this guy looks like our Senator Steve Daines, and the ugliest woman in the world had a fucking baby. This Gutfeld guy, and you know, and then Jesse Waters and these fucking, you know, I mean, the one thing that's crazy about these people is they're all super wealthy. This is kind of fun for all of them. You know what I mean? Like, and it's purely entertainment. The scary thing is it's real to people. You know, it really is. And now that I'm seeing the social media revolution take over, and to be honest, people like us are more of the news than these people are, without a doubt. You know. And when I see your content out there and how you explain things about, like, you know, like when you said the other thing was you said you're not built for visual combat. I just, where the fuck did you come up with that? Because, like, we're funny guys, but that's fucking awesome. I mean, I don't know if you're using ChatGPT, you're a witty guy, but I'm telling you, all these videos I watch, I think you nail this shit on the fucking head, every one of them. Like, you don't fuck up.
It's
And
the
I
bourbon.
really appreciate that.
bourbon, you know.
Yeah.
It's probably the bourbon, yeah.
It's probably the badger on the wall behind him, maybe.
First of all, I don't. So I try not to be reactive. Honestly, it sounds weird considering
Yeah, it does.
my stuff is reactionary. But when I see a particular clip like the one you're referring to of Fox News, I just sit with it for a minute. And I look at Greg Gutfield, who I think is 5'5",
Maybe.
And I call him a homophobic hobbit. And
Fuck yeah, he is.
actually, yeah. And the reference I made actually was to a guy many years ago who said, you know, the difference between you and me. And I said, yeah, when I sit on the toilet, my feet touch the floor. So that was sort of a pullback reference, which they found funny because the guy who saw it said, you're reusing that from 20 years ago. And I'm like, that's new to everybody else. You're not built for visual combat is a line that a lot of people message me that they're going to steal.
Yes.
I can't tell you where I come up with that shit. I can tell you a lot of what I say is randomized. My friend, very dear friend of mine of the last 25 years, is the one that has encouraged me to do this forever. He's like, why don't you say some of that shit on here? And I'm like, I don't really say it for attention. Right. I say it to say it. You want to talk about the Fox 5 or Fox as a concept? The concern I have with what they did with Jennifer Welsh specifically is they're taking a shot at somebody, not addressing what they actually do, not talking about the depth of their content, not talking about who they are as a person, not talking about the name of their podcast. All they're doing is acting like four guys from Montana sitting in a basement talking shit about somebody else. That's all they're doing. But the difference between them and you guys is they're watched by millions and people actually absorb that bullshit.
Yeah, believe
Whereas, right, where it's almost like they have no governor, where they don't look at something and make the determination that, you know, maybe we shouldn't go this route. No. Here's the point behind that. The left media should do the same thing.
Yes.
The left media is so scared to be branded as these far right conservative media channel, whatever you want to call them, are outlets. And they shouldn't be. What they should say is, this is who we are, and we think this is dumb. We think this is ridiculous. We think this is terrible. As opposed to going, here's the news, and tonight I'm going to bring in 5 people who are going to softly talk about it the same way that I talk about it. Now, I say that to say this. If I went on CNN, I would be more guarded, right? Because I would try to feel it out the first time I would be doing that. Like, what can I say? How far can I push back? What can I get away with? But those people are on there on contracts. They know the deal. And nobody's willing to change the narrative. So Fox keeps stealing the boomer market share, which thankfully the younger generation, and when I say younger, I mean even in our age group,
I know,
aren't on. You know, a lot of us are using social media and getting, you know, data. People like Aaron Parnas, who I'm sure you guys know.
Oh yeah,
that guy posts like 15 times a day. It's all he does is like walks around DC and picks up new information.
It's super breaking news. Okay, stop it.
Yes, yes, but right. Every 15 minutes there's breaking news, which I don't know what the fuck he's going to do when Trump is out of office. Because when politics go back to boring, it's going to be a whole different animal. And listen, I would gladly never do content again. I would happily turn everything off and walk away from it if this madness would stop.
Yes,
right?
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah.
I don't think we're there, boys. I think that
we got a while.
I don't think MAGA will be the same post-Trump because there's no charlatan that charlatans as well as he does. But you're going to have fractures, and you're going to have groups trying to kind of pick up, and they're going to figure out along the way what they have to do to sort of keep the idiots in line and keep the racist on their side. Let's talk about a quick fact to back that up. When I looked at the approval ratings recently, one of the highest things Trump has in approval is on immigration.
Right.
And then I looked at the states where he polls the highest in immigration. Montana, North Dakota, South Dakota, Wyoming. And I went,
all those border states.
Yeah. What are you afraid of? Fucking Canadians?
Yeah, I know. They're the friendliest people in the fucking world.
They're fucking smuggling fentanyl into this country, you fucks.
Yeah, you're right.
They're
Jesus
taking cheese
Christ.
out of this country.
Get
Never mind the fentanyl coming in. They're taking the cheese out.
Well,
destroying our timber industry with their cheap logs. What the fuck? Of course we don't want.
And here's what we learned by that. The people that are least touched by immigration, by immigrants, right? If you compare, I don't know, Montana to California, those are the people who are the most afraid of it, that think it's like something to fear. I lived in Arizona for years. There's really nothing to be afraid of. Are there criminal Mexicans? Of fucking course there are. They're human beings. Of course there's a criminal element.
Well, they're brown.
Yeah.
But if we wanted to get rid of criminals, for example, stolen cars in North Carolina became a topic a few months ago, and how they kept busting immigrants. However, when I looked at the numbers, 95% of all cars stolen in North Carolina by white people. So if you actually wanted to fix the problem, you get rid of the white people.
Right.
And then you'd cut your problem by 95%. But nobody wants to talk about that, right? It's not convenient. It's not fun.
Well, I think if we're going to deport immigrants, we should figure out how many generations back we should go and start there.
I think they might be doing that.
Because,
they are.
I mean, I've only been here for about 4 generations, my family, so maybe I'm not American
You're out.
enough.
You're gone.
Yeah, you're gone. You're totally gone.
Remigration says under that far right European concept of remigration, they can just pick and choose, right? So you could have been a black slave in the 1600s and have generations here, and they could easily, under that concept, say you're out.
Yeah, they're doing that blood testing like they're doing on the Blackfeet reservation.
Yeah.
You got to be pure.
Well, it's been an issue with Indian country for a long time.
Well, I think
what constitutes
this
a
white
tribal
supremacy,
member.
this racist overtone that's prevalent in this administration, everybody involved in it, like it's very obvious to people like us. MAGA won't see it, and they'll obviously say, "Oh no, that's not the case," But then they'll go fund me to a woman that says the N-word to somebody right to their face. To me, about that real quick. I forgot about this, but have you seen the Somalian leaders in Minnesota talking about how they voted for Trump, they campaigned for him, and and they're just blown away, like, please stop this. God. Do you think poor dumb America's feeling it just like the Somalians right now, or it's amazing that how close I felt bad for this guy. He's pleading, saying, Donald Trump, we voted for you, we campaigned for you, we're great people, we love you, and the next day he's like, these people are fucking trash. Wow. Wow. Now, he's not going to say that about MAGA or poor America, but he kind of does in his own ways. Just like you said, they're racist overtones.
He calls her Marjorie Trader Brown.
Right. Well, yeah.
Jesus, yeah.
You
cross him. It doesn't matter what color you are. If you cross him, you're fucked.
Did you make
if you're
a video
brown,
about
you're fucked already.
Did you make a video about his rally in Pennsylvania yesterday?
I didn't. I looked at it and I was like, sometimes I see stuff and I'm like, I'll pass. Today I did one on.
It's too much.
It's too easy.
Fucking, right. After a while, the low hanging fruit is just. I'm full. Right. Like
you're
what
right.
Else? There's, apples on the ground. Today I did. What is that grifting? Gwen Stefani's pimping out the
Christian thing. I saw
aloe
that.
app.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Really?
What?
So I was like,
I
okay,
can't
well,
keep up with
it's
all
cute
this.
too. I edit the commercial down for brevity, but I don't take anything that's of any value out. I clean up some of the timing on it so it's not a 45-second campaign. But she doesn't talk about the price, right? Because in 2025, you need to buy the Trump Lee Greenwood Bible for $70, or you have to get this Hollow app.
And
and
it's missing amendments 11 through 27 in that Bible too. That's
sure
amazing.
Shit got a chapter 7 in it though.
Oh yeah.
And chapter 11 too.
That's
probably.
a good clip right there.
And I don't even know where the fuck that came from. See what I mean?
It came from
Just
Satan.
random.
That's just
So you got
just
Satan
cleverness.
say dumb shit.
Cleverness. Yeah, that's quick.
I don't
quick.
know. But the argument I have there is everything's a goddamn grift with you people, right? You can't listen. I don't know how everybody does their religion. When I grew up religious, you just dropped on your knees by the bed and you said the shit you said and you went. Now they want to sell you on. You need an app, right? You have to pay to pray, I guess, right? So, that's what I call out. Sometimes when I see things that catch my eye, just like I would be at home. And I would normally see something and I would just bitch to my friends or bitch to my wife to the point that she listens because, we've been together 20 years. So she's learned how to deal with me. But I was like, I need to vent it out a different way, which, good or bad, you guys get the shit you get. And if you don't like it, you can unfollow me, right? That's
Exactly.
That's
That's the best part about this whole thing too is, you can just unfollow. And when you do unfollow something, one day later, you don't even know you fucking ever followed it.
Yeah.
What do you got?
Yeah, I can be gone in a heartbeat.
Well, and I love
Nobody
it.
has to know.
Gwen Stefani's been, she's been selling out for 30 years now. I mean, No Doubt was sick. Granted, I was 10.
Yeah.
It was sick, and now she's just been selling out. Like, yeah, nice. I enjoyed that video.
Yeah. So kind of to bring back Steve's autoclave, talk here.
Thank God.
You said it, not
It's
me.
been a while. I've been waiting.
Speaking of grifters, and what's her name? Welch, the podcaster.
Jennifer Welch.
Jennifer
Welch.
She said something about Charlie Kirk's widow. Said she's a grifter. She's the
she did
happiest
say-
widow
yeah,
she's
I've
ever
read that.
seen. She needs to go away. And in typical Democrat fashion, they all lined up to condemn her. Senator Fetterman from Pennsylvania
he
said
was
this
all
is
over it.
inappropriate. This is not what we should be doing.
them.
So why is it that when something like that happens, the Democrats have to line up to clutch their pearls, but Trump can say whatever he wants, and there's a chorus on the right of, oh, that's news to me. I didn't know he said that. Or, oh, he's just joking. He's just trolling. Or
I'll have to look into that.
He's
the Mike
allowed
Johnson.
to say that. Or so why do you think that's the state of affairs? That doesn't seem very fair to me.
I think it's a state of affairs because we've built this world where people on the left are afraid of offending, and if you don't come to the defense of every single thing that's ever said ever, then you must not be a true leftist or you must not be a true Democrat.
Right.
John Fetterman can go fuck himself.
Yeah, who knows what the fuck he is?
Right.
There's 100 different reasons why that
doesn't
guy
know,
is.
yeah.
He's fake as shit. He's soft as baby shit. I don't buy anything that comes from him. I think the minute
But at
Trump will
least he's
take him under
handsome.
his wing. Who's what?
I said, at least he's handsome.
In a Frankensteinish kind of way.
Well, Ryan, you saw that same
He's got a
stuff
lot of
during
nice
the-
hoodies.
Yeah, you saw that same stuff during the Me Too movement.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the Democrats who were in the Me Too movement. They're out of there. Franklin, had to do some hand gestures. You're out of there.
Crazy.
But the Republicans, we're not going anywhere. Screw you guys.
Pete Hegseth?
Yeah. And what you're talking about, too, is the party of family values, the party of morals, right? We have to say what we're not. It's that person who always convinces you, not that people don't say this, but people that say it all the time, I'm not a liar. I'm not a liar.
Yeah.
I don't lie. I've never lied. Those are the people you have to worry about, right? So when we hear on the right all the time, this same, we're honest, we're family values, we're true, that makes me, believe your bullshit. It's all smoke screens with them. And the Democrats need to learn when things happen that they may not agree with, like the things you're talking about, just shut the fuck up. Step to the side. I don't have any comment on it. Whatever. Move on. It goes away in 15 minutes anyway in this news cycle.
And talk about the things that actually matter after you sidestep it, then bring back the things that actually matter, whether you're a farmer or whether you're just trying to pay your fucking health care. Bring those questions back up.
Yeah.
It's funny you bring up farmer. So, and this is one thing that it's another one of those things where, like, I'm sure you could look at it and say, well, whatever. There's so much going on, so much stupid going on. It's fucking insane to comment on all of it. Like we all put notes in our phones starting tomorrow, and by the time the podcast comes, holy fuck, there's so much fucking shit that happens. So much stupid fucking shit. I mean, okay, his first term was, this is his first term on fucking steroids without a doubt with the stupid shit. And speaking of farming, this farmer, fucking Corb Hullab from Iowa. He's
Say
in
that
the fucking
again. What's his name?
Corb Hullab. It is something like that. Whatever. He's from Idiots Out Wandering Around. That for Iowa. But anyway, I don't know if you saw this. I'm sure you saw this one, Essie. But anyway, he says he's sitting there next to the president. He goes, when my boy says, I go, do you want to see Santa Claus Christmas? He says, no, Daddy, I want to see President Trump. Fuck you, you fucking grifter, you stupid fuck corporate farmer. You're not a farmer like I knew when I was growing up. You're nowhere near a farmer that I knew. But here you are telling the President of the United States a fucking lie, putting words in your kid's mouth. For what? Why the fuck are they sucking his dick? He's giving them $13 billion. They lost $13 billion in corn, $11 billion in fucking other grains. Yep. I mean, it's insane. Like, how is this? These people feed his ego like this, and to make up these stories and talk about how you don't want to see Santa, you want, little kid wants to see Trump instead. What the fuck? What are we going through here? Like, how the fuck do we get out of this?
Yeah, so there's a couple answers to that. The first one would be about why people support Trump the way they do, and I've addressed this before, but it's identity, right? So you have to look at the psychological portion of it. And really, when somebody has wrapped their identity into another individual or a movement as deeply as they have,
And they have.
It's hard to get out of that because in order to
talked
get
about
out of
that,
that, they have to realize and admit they were conned, they were duped, it's all a lie. So usually what you find is that people will double down. They would rather win arguments and lose family, right? That's because that's self-preservation. And everybody's overused the whole concept of MAGA's a cult and Trump's a whatever.
Right, that's
But
over.
the truth is, the truth is there's a cult mentality to it, 100%. And those people are so ingrained, they're so built into that world that for them to come out of it would be a severe blow to their ego. I'm talking like therapy level. So instead, they keep pushing it to their kids, right? We're talking like North Korea type shit, right? Where they have to have
That's
pictures
what I'm
of
saying.
them up.
Yeah.
Like, why would this guy's not a poor schlep MAGA, piece of shit. I'm sure he's a corporate farmer or a wealthy guy, because he made his way into the president's office. But to come up with this horseshit story about his son,
He wants
it's
his free
just
money.
fucking insane.
Well, that's
It's
all for
insane.
the-
He didn't have to say that. Like these people at his when he has his 2-hour-long press conferences or cabinet meetings, and they're all sucking his dick the whole time. He's got the tech world sucking his dick. Today he wants to write an executive order so that states can't regulate AI, so it can do whatever the fuck it wants. So when something comes on your TV, it doesn't have to say AI generated. I think it should. Because people use all of our likenesses at some point, everybody's, and then we could be put in bad light. All these bad things can happen, and all these people are kind of making a joke of it, and Trump's loving it every second because these people are just massaging his ego so much. It's insane. It is.
As far as the AI thing goes, the way to counter that really simply is to use AI against them
I'm trying.
to
I'm
a
learning.
point
Right.
to a point that they would want something put in place. Do you follow what I'm saying?
There you go.
Yes.
Yeah, I am. Yeah, 100%. That's smart.
Well,
And again, the problem is we're going to talk about a think piece and 27 bullet points, and they're going to go, well, hold on a second. There's a bunch of reasons
we're going to
why
explain.
just
explain.
push back.
Yeah.
Just push back. And there are plenty. Matter of fact, we want to get into liberals versus conservatives. There are plenty of creative liberals out there that if you gave them free reign with an AI system, would tear Trump and his administration apart using it, right?
Gavin Newsom is one of them.
Yeah,
Gavin Newsom is one
he's
of
got a
them.
good
I mean,
team
he's-
doing it, I guess.
Yeah.
One of the
it's because he
few.
doesn't have to go.
One
One
of
of
the
the few,
few.
exactly.
Exactly, one of the few. Like when, and honestly,
Where's Hakeem Jeffries?
I'll tell you,
AI
like when we had
person?
Brian
JB
Andrews
Pritzker,
on the
right?
show, and Brian was that kind of guy. Like when we go after somebody to be on our show, we obviously want them to be like-minded. We have no problem debating or having somebody that doesn't see eye to eye to us. But what I see, what we're all doing, you, Brian, us, and people like us, and Jennifer, we're building this thing where we are fighting back. Because we are brash. Every one of us that I just mentioned, we're brash as fuck, and don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? Like, I like this concept of the dark left. I like fighting back. I like not being a pussy. Like, I've never been a pussy in my fucking life. But because I'm liberal, people see me as a pussy, I'm fucking offended.
And you're fighting counter branding, right? So
Yes.
you're countering the branding that they give. Being a Democrat was a blue collar working man union,
proud.
right? It was
You're proud of that.
You were a union member.
You're
for
proud
fuck's
in the
sake.
70s and 80s.
You were a blue collar union member. Fuck.
Yeah.
What happened
and
to that?
they took Nazi propaganda. They took Goebbels' fucking talking points, and they took everything
Yeah.
they
Oh,
needed and realized we use this, we can turn it, and it works. Look at. People have asked me why I've achieved any level of success. I own a few businesses myself. And my response has always been, I'm not that smart. It's that most people are stupid. And
Okay, yeah, I get you there.
and it's not even me really taking a shot. It's just looking, going, guys, this isn't that complicated. If we do X, Y, and Z, and the businesses do result as so I don't really think of myself as being some kind of a magnificent business baron tycoon.
Right.
I just realized, okay, well, here's what was done wrong. We just won't do that. But to be committed to that point, you have to understand that people are stupid, and those people are very malleable. And people that have this devout belief that they're anti-abortion because of religion. And I've challenged people on it, any one of them at any point, to take out any one, the Old Testament or the New Testament, and tell me where in there at any line it tells anyone they can't have an abortion.
It's not in there.
It's not in
there. No, it's not.
But they realized in the 70s, I want to say, that one thing evangelicals could get people to galvanize around was abortion. And by doing that, they got votes, and it's been part of their agenda ever since. Prior to that, was not a big deal, right? So, don't let me rant.
No, that's the. I mean, yeah, that was the breaking point. After the New Deal had run its course throughout the 40s and 50s, the big businesses, the big moneyed interests said, you know what, we've been out of politics, we've been marginalized for so long, it's time for us to get back in. And the moral majority came up and was like, well, this is how we're going to do it. And honestly, starting with Reagan, I have a cousin who I'm going to go see this weekend in Austin, and he is a Reagan Republican, died in the wool Republican, and after Trump won the second time, I said, this is what you have been wanting. This is what you started in 1980. And this is the logical outcome of all of the mistrust in government that's been spread on the right since 1980. And this is the logical outcome. You finally found your flag bearer, your torch bearer for this movement, and he's won now, and now you don't fucking like it.
Well, and
now you don't like it.
Democrats got too smart for themselves. I mean, they started using all this fancy talk language. They hired all these consultants who complicate the crap out of everything. They have to have all these meetings and all these polls, and by the time they figure out what the message is, the whole issue has changed.
It's gone.
And,
It's gone.
They have to start all over again.
It's gone.
And the only people making money are the consultants.
Well, Essie, you bring up a big thing, and this is, I've said it for a very long time, that, this is back during Reagan, James Baker, Falwell, Swigert, all these guys, they started this. I mean, Jimmy Carter won all the fucking southern states. People don't know this. Like, the southern states were Democrat. But the abortion deal, the religion deal, they knew what the fuck they were doing. They created the greatest political pyramid scheme known to man. And they took over a lot of people, a lot of states, a lot of working class people because of religion and especially abortion. So how does the left, because I think about this all the time. I do. It's like we know for a fact if this wasn't an issue, this abortion was not an issue, I don't know how close these races would really be because of how more the Democrats have been aligned with the actual working, American. I mean, but that has changed it, and it's insane that you got a guy like Charlie Kirk getting a whole younger generation of people to be against abortion that were totally fine with it. But that's the fucking issue. And how does the left combat that? And is it even possible?
I mean, the left has to actually start doing something. Right. That's part of the problem. The right
against abortion.
The right is very active. They're engaged. They're talking. They're filling the vacuum.
And they stick with their message.
The left is still saying, I don't know. Maybe I should say something. I don't know. I mean, they said mean things.
Maybe we should support moderate Republicans. I don't know.
Well, I don't know if
you're not wrong,
Essie, but we. Go ahead. Sorry. Well, in Montana, in the last election, we voted. Every single statewide office went to a Republican. Trump won by a large margin, and we passed a voter initiative that enshrined abortion in our Constitution, all at the same time.
We voted to protect abortion, but voted for the people that want to take it away.
I mean, that's
fucking stupid.
That's like these are the breaking points in America, like. That we here in Montana who watch this shit and are like so confused by it, that we're trying to figure out, okay, how do we break back? Like, how do we get the people that are going to vote for people that actually really support working class issues and jettison the other stuff that causes them to vote Republican? I don't know if you have any thoughts about that, but
yeah, I do. Sure. First and foremost, one of the best things, I like to always see the good in people because that's the kind of man that I am. So
hey,
like
you're from Wisconsin. We're good people.
All right,
that's good to hear.
I want to tell you the good in Trump, and that is that he's fucked everything up so badly that it's not going to be hard for Democrats to counter it. Instead of them having the actual position, right, where they have to say, this is my platform and this is what I stand for, they're going to be able to just use a lot of the counterpoints and say, he's giving you this, this, and this, and here's where we stand, and here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to counter this, this, and this. So that's sort of a positive. When you talk about things like abortion, the biggest issue we have is is that the positioning has been wrapped in religion, right? And to unwind religion is, virtually impossible unless people go to college or, some place that they are open to different worlds and they can change their own mind.
Conversion therapy.
Same. I didn't go to college. I grew up very poor. I was the oldest of 4 kids. It's a dark fucking story, but I know that I've seen people pre and post college, and it really changes. It's sort of like traveling. When you get out and you travel a lot of countries, you realize, oh, these people are just normal human beings, right?
Exactly.
It's not the scary world that everybody has us worried about. But to unwrap that religion is going to be difficult. Really, the message that the left has to focus on when it comes to all of those issues, like abortion and such, is mind your fucking business.
Yeah.
People need to mind their business, right?
Yeah.
If somebody wants an abortion, that's up to them. If you don't want an abortion, that's up to you. If you want to pray a certain way, that's up to you. If somebody doesn't, that's up to them, right? And that's sort of the core tenet of liberalism, where it's you live your life, and as long as you're not harming anybody, nobody gives a shit. I don't give a shit. The only problem I had 2 gay neighbors, 2 different homes right by me that were
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, and let me tell you why that was a problem.
Steve, I didn't know you had a house in Wisconsin.
Yeah, when did you move there?
Their fucking yard was better than mine. Their
Protest.
house was decorated better than
Yeah,
mine.
it was. Yes, it was beautiful.
I can't compete with that. And I went down and told him, I was like, dude, do me a favor, cut the shit. You can let the grass grow a little bit.
Lawn.
I actually have fake grass now. Showed him. I vacuum it like once a month. Big thinker.
Shit.
What do you got, Ryan?
I got a question. What do you think about this attack on science that's coming from the Trump administration? It's been part of the right for the long time. We've got RFK.
Vaccines are not killing people.
We've got RFK as the director of Health and Human Services. We just appointed a woman who is clearly unqualified to be the head of the vaccine research
They're all
branch
fall
of
guys.
that. What do you make of all this stuff?
I think it started with COVID. COVID didn't create the divide, right? It exposed it, and it was really the first time in history that we've seen this sort of. You don't have to pick a topic; you have to pick a side. And when the whole anti-vaxxer thing came out, that's what happened. It wasn't even about vaccines. It was like you're in the group of anti-vaxxers or you're not, and that really showed this distrust for medicine in government and how it's managed. RFK comes into the picture, and he's obviously supported by Trump, and a man who can, barely voice out, sounds like 4-day hungover Steve, no offense.
Well,
Steve who?
Which Steve, right? When you talk like that, the only thing people liked about it was that Trump appointed him, and he was a contrarian, right? He pushed back against absolutely everything. The government's doing this wrong. This is all out to kill you. Vaccines have been a lie. Well, on the one side of people like me who were vaccinated as a kid because I needed it to go to school, I've learned later that was a good thing because polio fucking sucks.
Yeah,
now, that's what I was taught.
yeah, I don't want that.
Yeah.
Right. There's a whole different world where now you have parents who fell into this sort of 4chan, Reddit, Twitter world of vaccines being bad. And I agree. There are probably people who have had vaccines that have had negative reactions to them. But you're talking about 1/100th of 1% of a group. But that's enough to spread fear, which is really what the Republican Party moves on, right? So when you have a fear-based economy like they do, they realize they can pick any topic, vaccines, immigration, trans people, and they create this whirlwind of fear around it. And then the left goes, how the fuck do we respond to that?
And they don't know how.
meeting.
And they call in the consultants. Yeah.
You know why people like Jasmine Crockett?
Kevin would like a
because she just goes out there and says, fuck this guy. Like,
I like
such
Jasmine
a
Crockett.
Yeah?
I do, but now she's running against Tallarico, and
Yeah, but
Which
you know
is-
what? Good on them.
Yeah.
Good. They're
well, here's the
Nothing wrong with
beautiful
the
part
primaries.
of Tallarico versus Crockett is beautiful because it's a win-win scenario.
that's true.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right? And the one that doesn't win is going to do something else that's going to be positive. So we have a great setup in that.
I
But
think
we need
Talrico's
those
running for
people.
president. That's what I'm telling you.
I could, someone that perfected him. If you watch him talk, he talks like Obama.
He does.
Yeah, he does.
Totally does.
He it's almost like somebody came in
Things
and
are
really
great.
worked on his speech pattern and the way he delivers things. And I went, yeah, I mean, here's the full disclosure. I was a John McCain supporter. Love John McCain. Still think he would have done a great job. And I think I was wrong, because obviously I don't know what John McCain would have done, but what Obama did was fantastic. And even though I hadn't voted for him, I said, man, if I could sit down and have a beer with the guy, it'd be fantastic, because he's very engaging, entertaining to listen talk. I think it'd be an interesting conversation. And Tallarico's picked up on that. Now, I don't have old video of Tallarico to see if he talked differently before. But the way he's doing is going to resonate well with people, and it's a problem that Jasmine Crockett's going to have, because she's a frank speaker, but a lot of people will be turned off by that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And the truth being,
and
she's black, and some people have a problem with black people.
She's a black woman in Texas.
she's hot as fuck, though.
She's a black
That
woman in
helps.
Texas running for a
helps.
statewide office, and he's a white guy, and that's a big difference.
Well,
And-
a
or
lot
she's
of brown
wildly-
people in her
Say what
district.
you want about
a lot
that,
of
but
brown
that's the
people there.
truth. Yeah.
And we have to address things like it's harder for black people to get in. It's funny, I say that after the fact that Hussein Obama got voted in, but the truth of the matter is that people look and judge other people, and they just say to themselves, I wouldn't vote for a black person. I wouldn't vote for a woman. I sure wouldn't vote for a black woman. That's something that has to be addressed. I would love to
just
see
not Kamala
Jasmine
Harris.
Crockett. Well, I mean, she lost points because
You voted for
she's
Kamala. Shut up.
What happened?
I was talking to Ed. He voted for Kamala.
I did.
After he
Steve was
said
busy.
he wouldn't vote for her.
He's busy interrupting you. Please continue.
I would have voted for a can of tomato fucking soup.
That's exactly. I would have said that too. Yep, without a doubt.
I mean, that wasn't a tough decision.
my Great Dane just took a fucking dump. I would vote for that.
Right. So that is sort of the point in that we're dealing with but we need more Tallaricos and Crockett's, right? We don't have enough of those. We have too many Chuck Schumers.
Yeah,
and could we please get rid of these fucking
Yeah, how the fuck do you get rid of Chuck
that's-
Schumer,
I mean,
man?
God.
I don't know.
Garlic,
And, listen,
wood
That is so
steak.
true.
I'm not saying he,
though,
I'm not implying the guy has a terrible, morals or want. It's just not that. It's just that we have to move into another generation where at least the dominant is Gen X and not
Yes, not Schumer.
right. Exactly.
Donald Trump,
And-
we won't stand for this.
Well, and they
what
want
the
to.
fuck?
They want to do.
You're standing for it.
Well, they want to do something too. I mean, there
Yeah.
are people that want to actually get in there and govern instead of protect whatever it is that they're protecting, power or their
Who knows?
their stock funds. I mean, who knows what Chuck Schumer is really all about, because he's just a big stuffed shirt that's full of consultants.
Yeah, he likes his power, but it is the consultants. I mean, look, even you can see it in Montana. You got the consulting class that are picking up these moderate Republicans. Oh, let's support the moderate Republicans. That's the consultants doing with dark money. You got the consultants deciding who's going to be the Western congressional candidates. They've picked out a couple of candidates that they like. Never mind Russ Cleveland and Ryan Bussey, who are out there beating on the streets. That kind of stuff. We got our candidates, and so it's the consulting class that's driving so much of this for
Essie,
Democrats.
what Mike's talking about is we've got a guy that we met a while ago. Like I told you, the guy I got hammered with a couple times. Really good guy. He's
was
running
on the
for
show.
house.
He just met him.
I probably should know. Oh yeah, you just met him.
You
Never
talking about
mind.
Russ?
Okay.
I remember back that far.
Ed gave blood today, and they told him not to drink for 24 hours.
Yeah, and I've been smoking weed the whole time too.
Or
So the weed and the beard helps. But and I completely forgot what I was talking about. So thanks, you guys.
Talking about Russ.
That's right.
You're talking about Russ
No.
Cleveland.
But something else about that.
Consulting class in the Western.
So here in Montana, we've got a guy that's putting a lot in, and he's been running now for 5 months. And Washington, D.C. Democrats obviously know more than Montana Democrats. So they get a guy that lives no fucking shit over 500 miles away in a completely different district in Montana. Over 500 miles away, he's running in the race for Western. Even though he lives in the Eastern District, he's running because the D.C. Democrats have his back and think he has the chance. That's how fucked up this is. And that's how fucked up Democrats are. And they're in this fucking whirlwind of well, I don't even know what you would call it, just disarray, of what to do. They don't have any real, like in Montana, we've got, how many counties don't have central committees? 20?
20, yeah.
At least 20 of our counties don't even have central committees. They don't even give a fuck. Like, it's that fucked up here. And, thank God Montana's not like a microcosm of the entire country, because we are different. And we are, like I said, everything's far away from everything around out here. And
we haven't had a big measles outbreak like South Carolina.
True,
yet.
we have not had the measles. That's a little tougher here, I suppose. But we definitely have anti-vaxxers. I know that. We definitely have those.
Cases of measles.
Thank God we're so fucking far away from each other. But yeah, we have had measles. But anyway, we're losing the train of thought again. Too much marijuana and beer to fucking in this deep.
I got one more question.
Go ahead, Steve. We'll let you go.
God, my phone died.
Oh God, put your face in there.
Well, it's not doing it. My question is, we got Project 2029. South Park has pushed Democrats to the left to say, here's what we want to see in Project 2020. I don't know if you've seen their little stunt.
Whack is back.
But,
Whack is back.
Whack is back. And it's pretty
Really?
fucking
I like
pretty
that.
funny. It's actually right on target. And my question is, do the Democrats, does the left have to go? Does the dark left have to go scorched earth, like the Republicans went in this last election? In order to actually claw some of the country back, or
Can the left lie that much?
Or does the left, if the left is able to claw a lot back in 2026 and possibly 2028, do we just start to govern again like we used to make politics boring? That's my question. That's I'm wondering what the end game is here on the left hand side.
In my opinion, the right went scorched earth, right?
Yeah.
And the left keeps showing up with fucking aloe vera. At some point, defense has to become offense. We cannot be on defense forever. And the first priority is really unfucking everything that Trump and his court gestures broke. Institutional norms, the international partnerships, the whole nine.
Is that fixable at this point?
I think so. First of all, if you look at people like Canada, a lot of times when they're talking about the issues with the United States, they're not talking about the U.S. They're talking about the Trump administration. So I think a lot of it is reparable, just because we can easily say, that's not us, that was that guy, we're changing that, right? So I think governing like adults can happen after we have done the unfucking, right? The left has to take a lot of the guardrails off and go, we have a lot of work to do. Yeah. There are things that are, so I'll give you an example. When he passed the big, beautiful bill, he put in there, whatever it was, $830 million in cuts to SNAP and Medicaid and so on and so forth. Well, that becomes law. So the only way to really counter that would be to introduce another bill that would allocate $830 million in spending to offset that loss, right? So there are things that are put into law that have to be countered by additional laws. And that takes time, and that also takes congressional control, which I feel like in a lot of ways Trump is really helping, because you don't start to gerrymander states when you think you have the votes, right? So we've seen some positives there. The left has to really enforce laws, something that the Trump administration doesn't really comprehend unless they benefit them. So we have to also strip away the sort of MAGA mask that has existed for them for a while. There's really a lot of pieces that have to be uncovered in order for us to kind of right the ship. I will say this. If you guys are, have nothing to do in your life, and you've ever looked at the Project 2025 tracker,
I work
primarily
for a fucking
Steve.
living, dude. I know. I'm busy 8 to 5 every day.
I think look at it this way. If the left took over tomorrow, the way I would phrase it would be, you can't worry about a leaky faucet when the house is on fire.
Yeah.
Do you follow what I'm saying?
Yep, without a doubt.
And I feel like that is a lot of the sort of, everything's going. They go, yeah, but we fixed the faucet. The faucet's good. That doesn't make any difference. We have to start with putting out the fire, taking the temperature down, getting people back to a sort of a real world view. Is that possible? I don't know. It depends on who ends up in the House, who ends up in the Senate, who ends up in the office. I think, although he'll take a lot of flack, I think Gavin Newsom is probably the biggest swinging dick that is willing to stand up. Look, the dude looks like a president. He just
exactly.
He looks like a president, right? So he looks like the Hollywood casting version. Yeah. I think he could be the one that stands up and says, I'm going to push back on everything. Every Republican, you whacked out conservatives, all your MAGA bullshit, I'm pushing back on all of it. And I'm calling all the countries. I'm going to start talking to every country in Europe. I'm going to reach out to Canada. I'm talking to Australia. I'm going to fix all the shit you did one day at a time. Because the people that are really going to feel the impact are going to be the people that are going to swing. Remember this. Democrats have, I think don't quote me on this, 49 million registered Democrats, 39 million registered Republicans, and like 50-some million registered independents. Independents are always what matter. You guys are not going to vote Republican. The hardline baggers are not going to vote Democrat, right? So that is what it is. The in-between people is where it matters. And those people can see what their bank account looks like. So when Trump says, I've doubled 401ks, I can log into my 401k and see that that's not true. When he says inflation is down, you can see that it's not true. When he says prices are down, sure, that shit plays well on TV, but the people that matter and make the swing vote are not buying the shit come 2028.
God, I hope you're right.
No, I think he is.
I hope so.
As long as their politicians say
they
those
haven't been buying the shit in Miami this last election. They didn't buy it in Virginia.
I mean, aren't
they
his
didn't buy
fucking
it in New
advisors
York.
being like, Jesus Christ, you fucking retard. What the fuck is your problem?
No, they're all
Nobody can afford a goddamn thing, and you're telling them everything's cheaper than it's ever fucking been? Like,
No, they're all
like
sycophants.
They would fire that
sycophants.
person, and he would fire them and bring someone in
he
that would
brings
tell
somebody
him
else
what he
to
wants
agree
to
with
hear.
him.
He holds a
who the
cabinet
fuck
meeting.
can trust any numbers that come out of anything now? Anything. Like, the jobs reports, all these things. All of this is suspect. All of it now. We don't know any numbers. From what I hear from real analysts, from other sources, from real sources I trust, we've lost 1 million jobs this year. That's fucking insane.
Yeah. You don't. All you have to know is that if the numbers were good, you'd see them, and if they're really bad, you won't.
Right. There
And
you go.
that becomes sort of the line that you use. I mean, listen, I don't perform rocket surgery, but I know ego when I see it, and his ego's big enough that if things were going through the ceiling up, because we're the hottest country on earth, and by that he means he's torched the fucking thing.
Yes. Yeah.
You would know, right?
it's on fire.
He would be like, "This is the jobs report. This is what ADP is saying." Listen, we're in a bad place. It's not going to get better. I have people involved in the stock market that can tell you all the analytics and how it's
not
propped up
good.
by AI and all the things. It's bad. I mean, roll your quarters, not your pennies, because them bitches are worthless, but roll your quarters. Stop buying top shelf weed. Go with that cheap shit that's on, the 30% off or the 1 gram for whatever. Yeah,
Don't
I'm
say
just telling
that.
you.
I think
you're
what
right.
Essie just said is a perfect example of how the uneducated voter will always be a bigger threat to this nation than any undocumented immigrant ever will be.
Oh,
100%.
yes.
Thank you, Thomas
100%.
Jefferson.
Yeah, right?
Because the dumb voter can vote and the undocumented one can't.
Thank you, Alexander
No
Hamilton.
shit. Yeah, that's profound.
Was that in the federal?
Brian doesn't pipe in
think
much,
it
but when he
was.
does, it's valuable.
Anyway,
You know what I mean?
Okay, Ryan, you come on. What do you got for him?
I don't know. Steve sniped my question about.
Oh, sorry.
I guess one of the questions I had, you mentioned COVID. I've always said this. I've said this, since 2020. Do you think people are going to look back, 50, 75 years from now, they're going to look back at, I don't know, March of 2020, and they're going to look at the COVID-19 pandemic, and they're going to say, oh, this was the point. This was the hinge point when a large majority of the people of America lost their goddamn minds.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's going to be a part. I mean, 2015 said a lot, right? Because if you go back and look at Fox News in 2015, everybody, including Pete Kegsbreath and Megyn Kelly, all of them pushed back hard against Trump.
Oh, they all
But
did.
they-
Hegseth was really fucking harsh on him.
100%. And I've saved videos that I've seen because I don't have time to explore the Fox News archives. But you had all these people pushing back on this insanity, and then they realized he was going to win, and they fell in line, right?
Yeah.
COVID was what really cost Trump the election. I think he would have won in 2020 without it. The problem was he was smart enough, or his people were smart enough, because I doubt it was him, to realize that, okay, inflation when he left office was like 9%. It dropped down to like I think when Biden left, it was at 3%. But because prices look, when corporations raise prices due to inflation, they don't tend to bring them back down later.
Nope,
Your cereal
no.
goes up,
Doesn't
it stays
go.
up, right?
They let everybody catch up.
They
Yep.
love
Then it doesn't keep going up. Yeah, it
Correct.
slows
And then
in how fast
he
it
was
goes up.
able to use that against Biden, and because Biden is the fucking crypt keeper from what was that movie, Crypt Keeper?
Tales from the
when I was a
Crypt.
kid.
Yeah, Tales
Tales
from
from
the
the
Crypt.
Crypt. Thank you.
Yes,
HBO TV
yeah.
show.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he was a
HBO.
fucking crypt keeper, and he died on the vine. That was it. There was no way out of that. It
Yeah.
didn't matter if it was Kamala. It didn't make a difference who it was. So when you use COVID as the line, as you're sort of talking about, in a lot of ways, it was the death and rebirth of the world we live in now
Yeah.
because of people picking a side, because of the anti-vax, the goddamn vaccine that Trump created through Mike Pence's warp speed.
Yep.
As soon as Biden took office, became I wouldn't touch that. It's a Biden vaccine.
Right.
We
Trump
don't know-
actually
we don't know
tried.
what's
There's
in it. Yeah.
Right.
And now that's turned into all vaccines are bad.
Correct.
All
Right.
of
So we
them.
see how
Yeah.
that's the fear market, right? Where I bitch a lot about fear mongering because that is how the right wins. They win through fear,
Yeah.
and fear works because look, a lot of people believe in whatever Bible they believe in or whatever religion they believe in because they're afraid of burning in hell, right? Which is a shitty deal. Like loving
So
forever, hugs and fucking
Talk about
angels
that a
or
little
like
later. But
fire and brimstone. But because they believe in
closing
that
thoughts.
same concept of good versus bad, they also believe in the fear mongering world. And to counter that is it's going to take a Democrat with some. They're going to have to be eloquent, and they're going to have a big set of balls.
yeah.
Even if it's a woman.
And like you said earlier, Gavin is the only guy that's got it so
Right
far.
now, yes.
And I don't see the left being able to do it. I just don't. At its core, at the people on the left at their core, I think people like us are far and few between. I still think you have the left being the uppity people that don't want to fucking hurt anybody's feelings, don't want to do shit, and I hope I'm wrong. You know, I mean, like I said, I think Tallarico's a fucking genius. The way he speaks, how he is. But I don't see him being that guy. You know, what I mean?
You like your doctor? You can keep your doctor.
keep your
No,
doctor.
James, no.
Don't say that.
I mean,
James.
but if you
Goddamn
look
it.
at some of the election results that have been coming in, I mean, Donald Duck running as a Democrat right now probably would have
could win.
won.
You're right.
Yeah.
And I hope
You
the
know,
Democrats
and that's the
Yeah.
mistake that the consultants are making is
You're
like they're
right.
missing on the messaging because they're saying, it's a good atmosphere. We're doing the right thing. They're doing absolutely the wrong thing by not talking about affordability.
They're so bad at messaging. You have a guy like RFK saying, getting vaccinated, you'll miss out on a lot in life if you get vaccinated. It's like, yeah, it's
Like
called
life?
hetitis.
Right. Yeah. You miss out on
Polio.
measles.
Yeah, right.
Measles, bitch.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
I mean, all of us are from the three or four of us at least are from the generation where our parents weren't allowed to go outside in the summertime because of polio.
Yeah.
Like my mom still has stories about she couldn't go to the local swimming pool. She couldn't. There were days in the summer where they had polio alerts because of the humidity and stuff, and she wasn't allowed to go outside because polio was not cured at the time.
Do you think there's a possibility that maybe RFK is a serial killer, but he's just convincing very stupid people to kill themselves for him?
I think so. That's his way to do it. You're right. He's an evil mastermind. He's the bad guy in a Superman movie.
Well, it's like, we talk about the price of beef, the price of coffee, the price of eggs, chicken, everything is through the roof. And then you turn on the news and you've got this fucking asshole RFK doing a pull-up contest with Pete Hegseth.
Kake's breath. I like that. I'm
Yeah,
using
what a
that one.
joke.
I'm stealing that.
I
one.
stole that. Full disclosure.
Oh, you stole it.
I don't know
Okay,
where
I'm
I
stealing
saw
again.
it. Yeah,
I like
that
that.
is
That's
on.
fucking good.
I've got some other contests here that RFK and Pete Hegseth have planned.
Yeah.
Oh.
What do we got?
They've got a drunk driving race through a playground.
Oh, I like that.
A hair pulling match.
w-
A hair pulling match between their wives and the women they are currently cheating on them with. All right.
I like that.
Arm wrestling for the last line of cocaine. That should be a fun one.
That would be a big one.
And then, of course, the
RFK
classic
wins that
RFK wins every time.
who can remember the names of their illegitimate children challenge.
No one's winning that.
There are no winners in that scenario. Yeah.
We're gonna have to get
those
some sound
scenarios.
effects for some of these quotes here.
Yeah.
I want to know if you were taking odds on that. I thought we were really going to.
But it's like
Over, under.
these are the Democratic ads I want to see. I have
Yes.
to watch. I have to watch every ad of in Nancy Pelosi's liberal agenda. And it could be like for a county commissioner. It's like, what are we even fucking talking about
Yep,
here?
you're
He
right.
supports the liberal Seattle agenda. And it's like, who does? Why is this the boogeyman? I want to see bullshit like this, making fun of the Republicans in an ad.
I think that should happen.
is, yeah,
I definitely think
it
that
is.
should happen.
Well, I mean, I can counter your point, Steve, when you were talking about your mom, not going out in summer and polio, with the right talking points. And that would be not necessarily Republicans, but people on the right, the MAGA majority, would just call you a pussy. And the fact that you're afraid to go outside,
Yep.
you're a liberals. Oh, you're afraid to go swimming in the summer. Oh, look at you, little liberal snowflake. That's literally the world we live in, where logic
It is.
loses. It's like science versus Facebook.
Yeah. Meanwhile,
That'd be a good movie.
there's MTG, and you get the MGT.
Okay, that's a whole
whatever.
wrench. That's a wrench. That's a whole nother episode.
Well, I love the snowflake argument because there's snowflakes everywhere.
And they're giving our tariff. We were supposed to get tariff bailouts, but they're giving those to the farmers.
Yeah,
We're not
I'm gonna
getting the
take
$2,000.
So I'm going to take my pretend $2,000 from the tariffs. I'm going to add it to my pretend $5,000 from the Doge checks, and then I'm going to
Yep.
stock up on my pretend $2 fucking gallon of gas.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, let me help you with that
I'm gonna buy
pretend
bunker.
money. That
All right.
if it gets issued. So here's the reality of that scenario. If that money were to get issued, I want you to think about the farmer gets the check. What does he do with it? Think about it with
he
with
pays
bailouts,
Las
right?
Vegas.
So there's a
He
bailout, right?
pays
Yeah.
the big corporations that he
Right.
has all these loans out.
Pays
to.
his debts.
Yeah, this is corporate
Okay.
welfare, is what it is.
Okay, so the big corporations. Now, when you unpack that, I don't know why the left doesn't talk about this. What basically happens, as I understand it, is farmers can't pay their bills because of all the reasons we know.
Right.
Then the corporations aren't getting paid. And that's a problem because the corporations are lobbyists and they have a lot of money invested in their candidate. So they push back against that side.
And they have shareholders that they are
Correct.
beholden to.
Then the government cuts the check. That goes to the farmer who doesn't get to keep it. He turns around and sends it to the corporations,
Yep.
right?
He has
so the
to.
farmers are actually the middleman for the sort of socialist bailout that they talk about
Yep.
hating so
Bingo.
much, right?
Yeah.
And we point at the farmers, and I do too, because they vote against their own interests fucking constantly. But
Insane.
right, but the truth of the matter is the impact is coming from the corporations who I believe are forcing those bailouts so they can get paid.
Yep.
Well, right. Yeah.
And it's obvious.
Well, and I mean, they're the ones who have to raise their prices because of tariffs. And if you look at the price of corn is like 1 cent more expensive
Right.
now than it was in the 1970s. Except the
it's
price
not a
of
big
equipment
deal. Yeah.
is 10 times the cost.
Right. Well,
So you've had to mechanize to survive. Now you have to take a bailout to survive to pay off John Deere or Harvester or
socialism.
whatever
It's
they are.
fucking
You gotta-
snowflake
you gotta-
liberal
It is,
ass
yeah.
socialism.
you got an autoclave, right? I mean,
You got autoclave, Steve.
I'm just fucking with you.
Good
No,
job,
that's only
Ryan. Way to
with
bring it
language.
full circle.
We only put language in the
Full circle.
autoclave. We only put language in
No,
the
but it should
autoclave.
be. There should be ads running, from Democratic groups with, saying, Trump talking about these bailouts with the text, arsonist takes credit for putting out fire he
Yes,
started.
exactly.
Right? Shit like that.
Yes,
Right.
you're
Wait,
right.
you
You're
want
fucking
Schumer
right.
to do this kind of ads?
Yeah.
Yeah, Schumer's not going to do goddamn thing.
Right?
No.
The
And
White House
that
is
is-
on fire. Arsonist
can't even
takes
change his
credit
own
for putting out
diapers.
fire he started. There you go,
That's a
Russ.
great
That
point.
one's free.
And that is, and the fact that they don't talk about it that way, that the tariffs caused the problem that the farmers are now in, and then you're going to use the money that was paid by Americans to overpay for shit back to the farmers to fix the problem you created.
It's insane.
Right? And the fact that we're not doing that, clearly, it doesn't need to be a goddamn book report. It just needs to be a simple stated fact that they can hammer over and over until people go, yeah, that's true. I guess the farmers were doing fine until the tariffs came.
Right.
But
Yeah.
they're already
They were
ready.
doing
They're
great.
already letting the right spin the argument. They're saying,
Yeah.
well, this is just a bridge to the future when
Sure.
when everything gets better because of the tariffs. And now we have manufacturing at home,
Well-
and now things are cheaper because we don't have to ship
And
it to home.
these farmers love ideology. They don't like brown people. They love what Trump's doing with immigration, so they don't give a fuck.
Well,
a lot of these poor people don't give a fuck because of their hatred to brown people, hatred to gay people. I mean, we are in a really tough place because of this fucking shit. The ideology bullshit is fucking going too far now. It is.
Well, it's
hurting people.
It makes you feel crazy, kind of like what we've been talking about all night, where it's like Trump goes, I'm going to impose tariffs and make everything more expensive for no reason whatsoever.
Nope, so I can fix it.
And then these farmers and right-wingers go, yeah, I can't afford to feed my family because Biden made all the school children trans.
Scott, you sound like Scott Bassett.
And you go, oh, I don't even know how to respond to that. It's nonsense.
Well, in Monsanto's.
It sounds true. What do you mean?
And Monsanto's.
Well, they're crushing it right now because they control everything in Argentina and Brazil. Oh, and now the American farmers get a bailout. They're laughing their way all the way to the bank.
Yeah.
It's so bad. It's so bad.
Okay, hold on a second. Who the fuck was talking?
Oh, that's Kevin, the
This
producer.
pretty much happens every day.
That's the guy you've been texting with today.
I was focused in at all of you, and I'm like, I don't see anybody's voice in here.
Yeah, we're pretty technologically pretty smart here. We're throwing you a fucking
We have God on
curveball.
our side.
Kevin gave me the wrap
We
it
didn't
up
tell you
signal.
that.
So we got to move into closing thoughts.
All right, we have to move into closing thoughts.
Really?
I could stay here all night.
It's only
I love this.
9:30.
So, Jopek, you want to start? Closing
Jopek's
thoughts?
got to go to bed.
Closing thoughts already. Yeah. I don't know. I guess my closing thought was, I had this experience of Thanksgiving where I had to go see the grocery person and dish out $300 at the grocery store, and then had to go pick up the turkey and dished out another couple $100 for the turkey, and had to get some beers, and there's another $100, and suddenly, so Thanksgiving, suddenly $600, and it's like, it just wasn't like that a decade ago.
Couple years ago.
Something happened, and these guys in charge, they don't give a flying fart about any of this stuff.
No, they do not.
And the Democrats not figuring this stuff out is like, holy moly, people, you can't write a script, and you can't even follow a script.
No. And problem is, the Democrats are fucking gazillionaires, too. You know?
Steve?
Yeah. Boy, where do I start? Hey, just thanks. Thanks for coming tonight. We really appreciate it. It's been good talking with you. And
Oh, I'm not there. I'm actually at my place, so I just had to turn my computer on. Piece of cake.
This is AI.
Well, we've been drinking
smart
since
fucking
we
dude right
drink
here.
when we start eating dinner at these things. So, I just appreciate the calm, level-headed way that you explain these problems. And I just wish you'd use a few more monosyllabic words so that more people could access your content.
What do you mean monosyllabic?
I don't know what the fuck that means.
Why are you using big words, man?
I don't. Blah, 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 blah.
Why is monosyllabic such a hard word to understand?
Because I'm a fucking redneck, retard, idiot.
Kevin, now here comes the off mic guy again. We don't want you to get spooked again.
I got two
Go ahead.
comments. Hey, make sure everybody in Wisconsin, Luke Fickle's the fucking man.
No, he's
Don't
not.
let him go.
Fuck
Yes,
that.
give him
Keep
some
him
more.
employed.
He's the
Extension.
fucking man.
It doesn't
Are you
matter.
Michigan,
There's a
are
portal
you a
now.
Michigan fan?
I'm a Notre Dame fan. I wish he too bad. I mean, Mark. Well, if you do fire him, we'll take him as DC.
Talk
in a
about
fucking heartbeat.
snowflakes. Notre
But-
Dame's not going to a bowl because they didn't get in the playoffs.
Well, they lost to Miami. There's a choice
Yeah.
to make.
Well, it's funny that everybody's
It's
going to
fair.
lose money because Notre Dame's not in it. So it's their fucking
Yeah, well, if
problem.
you guys didn't suck, you would
Well,
have
I agree.
True.
That's why you got to fucking win.
Lost to Miami. That's all there is.
Anyways, but second one is Illinois State taking down NDSU. Fucking huge.
Huge.
That's setting up
Oh,
for
shit.
a Montana State
Montana State
semifinal.
semifinal.
It's going to be fucking epic. Tune in next week. That's
Sounds
all I
like the
got.
Democrats going to have like a retreat or something on that day, right?
So I don't know if we talked about it too much when Dick Cheney died. What was that, a few weeks ago now?
R.I.P..
It feels like a lifetime ago. And it was weird. I had this written down. We were talking about religion, and it just kind of worked out this way.
Weapons of mass
So
destruction.
Dick Cheney lived a full life, and I was reading about him. Turns out he was an avid billiard player.
Oh.
So I could say, we were talking about heaven, talking about hell. So I'd say, he could be up in heaven right now, racking him up with St. Peter for a game, or he's in hell where the demons are gnawing at his flesh and the agonies of the damned never cease. Either way, he'll be missed.
So, Essie, I'm
God for
assuming
his
you live
daughter.
around the Green Bay area, but I'm not going to ask where because I don't want the fucking weirdos to know where you live, of course, or what town, because you'd be an easy guy to pick out. But if the Packers make the playoffs, which I'm pretty sure they will, and there's a game at Lambeau, I'd love to meet you there.
I would. So yeah, I would consider going.
You got to know somebody with tickets around there.
He's considering it.
So back to I own 2 businesses. Well, 3 technically. So my schedule is completely free and completely full at the same time, right? Like, nobody can tell me what to do.
I own 4 myself. I know.
Right. So I can do whatever I want, but I can't do shit because I'm beholden to the businesses.
Yeah, that's exactly how it is.
But yeah. If they were going, depending on who they're playing, my dream has always been, which thankfully is not going to come true this year, was seeing the Packers beat the Vikings in an NFC Championship game.
That would be great.
Well, everyone's always picks on the Vikings. They've never won anything. It's like,
yeah, well,
purple, dude. They use purple. It's a dumb idea.
Yeah, who thought that? Who was sitting in the room and went, colors?
Some fucking liberal snowflake idiot.
Yeah, purple.
Who was sitting in the room and thought turf toe would be a good quarterback?
well, I'm at such a low point of my Vikings fandom that, just being in the NFC Championship sounds great, even if it's a loss.
So yes, I would have spent a lot of money to go see the Brewers play in the World Series, but they do what they do every year and leave me saying, hopefully next year.
Oh, dude. Listen, I watched or listened to 150 of the 162 games.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding you.
He
I
did.
mean, that's all I do.
I wait till about 30 games in until I buy the MLB package, and then because I'm like, well, if you guys aren't going to do shit, then I'm not going to spend the money.
So
And then
I
they
got a
start doing
Sirius
well.
XM. I listen to them on the radio, and then I wait till the All-Star break. Yeah, and then I pay the $100 to watch them on TV.
And I
I'll
was
tell
so
you what,
excited.
I'll bet you're just like me. I miss the fuck out of Bob Uecker. I mean, my whole life I got to listen to that guy. My dad actually poured his patio at his house, along with Robin Yount, Paul Mahler, and Jim Gantner back in the day, back with Harvey's Wallbangers.
Will you say how old you were?
I'm 53.
Okay. The reason I say it, you can't
Don't
really
tell the
see it
chicks.
because I have it blurred out. But over here, there's 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 4 glasses that I got from McDonald's when I was 8 years old, and they're the Paul Molitor, Robin Yount, literally
nice.
collector glasses.
I remember those.
Wow.
I remember
Yeah, I have
those. That
them.
is fucking awesome.
I still have them in mint condition.
Oh my god!
'Cause I'm,
You know what? Everything I had back as a kid like that, like Star Wars figures, everything, all got blown up when my fucking family from Idaho came and visited with illegal fireworks. All my cool shit's gone. But hey, anyway, thanks a lot, Essie. And we're gonna reach back out to you maybe in March or something and see if we can talk to you again and catch up.
Yeah, I'm not that hard to find, guys.
No, you're not. No, you're not. But we won't tell anybody where you live. Thank you very much, man. This means
Thanks,
a lot
Essie.
to us.
No, we
Thank
appreciate
you.
It has been really great.